the month of June heralds the start of the holiday season. And for students, this means packing up their digs and leaving university for the long summer break. Here in Aberystwyth, extreme cleaner Ben and his team have been called to clear a house that's been home to some students. On first glance, it seems fairly straightforward.
Typical student accommodation, really. Pretty minging, just can't be bothered to clean anything, really, so just a combination of food and fags and dirt.
But as Ben moves through to the kitchen, conditions are getting decidedly grim. Judging by the rotting food infested with maggots, which is strewn everywhere, and the state of the work surfaces, there's been a total disregard for even basic hygiene.
I can never understand how it gets like this. Do you know what I mean? Who lives in a house like this? But who would want to? Do you know what I mean? Vile. Absolutely vile.
And things aren't much better in the downstairs loo.
I mean, at some point, someone's just decided to say, I can't be bothered to clean that up, and just carried on using it and using it and using it, so I just don't understand it.
In the downstairs bedroom, there are some odd surprises.
Nice. So we're looking for a bald man in Aberystwyth somewhere.
Now it's on to the upstairs bedrooms.
Look at this hair. That is bizarre, isn't it? Look. Look at that, one step. Let the flies out and let some air in. Most of these bin liners all contain food. In here, there are probably about 5 or 6 different varieties of fly, you know, just because of the different amount of food that's in here. Prawn crackers and stuff like that. The trouble is when you've got students in places like this, although they've got a kitchen downstairs, they eat most of the stuff up here, you know, because it's their own room, so they just end up leaving stuff. Like, you'd imagine that to contain some kind of food, but it just ends up containing a load of flipping dog ends and smells rank.
The culinary habits of the students seemed their main concern, but that was until Ben opened the bathroom door.
Pretty rank, actually. You've got like this just full of faeces, where they've just decided that that's the way that they should get rid of it. That kind of behaviour you wouldn't expect from an animal, would you? They normally clean up after themselves. Bizarre. And then the bath, I don't know what they've been doing in here. No idea. I think it's just grime. I think it's just literally it's full of hair. You can see it all in it. I don't know what it is. It's like soap, like a scum line. That's the bald guy from Aberystwyth, minus a goatee now. If I lived in this house, I'd kick everyone in who left my bath like that, wouldn't you? So I don't know why someone thinks it's okay to leave it like that, but obviously all of them do.
Ben might have expected this ingrained grime if the property had lain vacant for months or even years. But the students only moved out 2 days ago. In Aberystwyth, Ben and his team are making a good start clearing up the students' house. On reflection, Ben thinks he might have an idea why they seem to have had a total disregard for their environment.
The property owner said they were very, very wealthy. So maybe they've just used this as sort of, just can't be bothered to do it. Maybe it's beneath them. But why they'd want to live in it, I don't know.
As luck would have it, the landlord has agreed that Ben's team can keep what they find.
They leave stacks of stuff which is usable. So most of the cleaners will keep all of that. When they call it shotgun, they just go in and just take whatever they want. So yeah, perk of the job. They take everything, all the food. It's rank.
And young cleaner Tony is taking full advantage.
I'll have this for starters. I did find breakfast earlier as well. There you go, breakfast. Genius.
As Ben gets to grips with the kitchen, he can't help studying some of the contents in more detail.
How long has that been there? You know, all completely mouldy. It would take 2 minutes to throw it away. Again, I wouldn't even bother cleaning any of this. I don't even know what that is. Typical. Cuts through stubborn dirt and stains. Yeah, they've used a lot of that. I don't know anyone who'd want to live like this, student or no student.
All this mess only goes to fuel Ben's belief that a student's life was not for him.
I was never a student. I don't think I ever would be. I don't see the point. I could earn more money doing this than if I had a degree.
For most of us, working in this place would be extremely unpleasant, but young Tony thrives on it.
Loving it. So the worse it is, the more fun you get out of it. You've got to have good humour about it. Haven't you? You can't go through any kind of grotty job and be miserable about it because it just depresses you.
He's a good lad, actually, yeah. I can't stand working people who are miserable. When you get someone who's a bit of a laugh, it's good, you know.
As the team continue bagging up, one of the cleaners has found concrete proof of the students' healthy cash flow.
Maggie was upstairs and she found a bank statement, and this guy's had £20,000 put in his dangerous account. Crazy amount of money. But saying that, he spent it quick enough. Fair play though. But see, that's life of a student, eh?
Yeah.
Like, blood, sweat and tears, and we get a pittance, and yet students get 20 grand for sitting and, well, making a mess.
Ben's strategy is to blitz a job like this, so with everyone pulling their weight, the downstairs is already being transformed. But upstairs, and especially in the bathroom, their progress may be slowed. In Aberystwyth, the mountain of bin bags outside the students' des res is constantly growing, showing that Ben and his team are nearing completion of the deep clean. All that's left to tackle is the upstairs bathroom. Tony remains philosophical as ever.
Toilet cleaning, mate. I can't beat it. So you just can't beat it. It's the lowest of the low cleaning, isn't it?
The loo may be looking a whole lot better, but the surrounding area still requires attention.
There's some urine splatter all the way through there. It's normally sort of what people miss, isn't it? Right. If you're a bloke anyway. You always find it. You add a few cans, you sort of miss a bit.
But Tony can identify with the ways students just can't aim straight.
I do it all the time. Honestly, I'm renowned for it. When I go around with mates now, right, they actually go and put mats down for it. I went with my mates the other day, right, and as I walked towards the bog, right, he said, if you miss, I'm giving you a paintbrush and you're going to clean it all up with a little paintbrush. And another one threatened to make me lick it up. And you just can't help it after a bit, can you?
For Ben, however, the bath poses the biggest problem. He's going to have to resort to a more hazardous approach to stand a chance of removing the layers of ingrained skin, hair and dirt.
Normally, cleaners, if you're a cleaning firm, it's a big no-no using bleach, because if you mix it with other chemicals it can be lethal. But in this environment I can control it. Still, even this, it's fighting a losing battle. I think it's coming off. It's the hair that's holding it all together. Can you see it all? It's all matted in it. That's what's holding it onto the bath.
But Ben has one last technique if all else fails, the faithful scraper, and this seems to do the trick. After an hour, the bathroom has been transformed, and so has the rest of the house. There's just the odd stubborn sticker to remove, and Ben's team can call it a day. Let's hope next term's students have more of a grip on home economics.